I see y'all liking it. I see y'all fuck with it. I see y'all like the argument. So we back with part 3. Part 3 with Sneako versus MoistCr1tiKal. Let's get back into this debate. Once again, this is from Fast's channel. This shit right here is just like, at this point, why the fuck are they arguing? You know what I'm saying? We'll find out though. Somebody gonna win this argument. They said that Moist got cooked. If you think he got cooked, comment below. I don't think he got cooked though.
But you know why? Because Islamically, if
we're not talking most likely, just say it. Can they do it? If there's be a number, or else you can do the same thing.
I just told you there's not a number.
But do you see why that's a problem?
No.
If there's no defined, so why can't a 12-year-old marry an 18-year-old?
Because most 12-year-olds haven't gone through puberty yet, and most 12-year-olds.
What if, as you just said, it changes? What if a 12-year-old went through puberty early, the parents consent, the 18-year-old and the parents consent? Can they do it?
Most likely that's not going to happen. You know why? Because Islamically, if
we're not talking most likely, just say it. Can they do it?
If there's harm involved, then it's not going to happen.
How do you know there's harm involved? You wouldn't know.
To get people up to date on what's going on, basically, Sneako says that if you're 13 or 12, you can get married. Basically, is what he's saying. And MoistCr1tiKal is saying that he's okay with chopping your dick off if you're 9 and going transgender. It's like a weird argument, but like they're both wrong. I just want to see who think they right. Basically, is what's going on.
No, until it happens.
If the family's not if it's not good for the child, if the child's not mentally ready yet, if the child's not mature,
the kid is consented.
If the families have consented, the kid is mature, the kid is ready. Why should I stop it?
At 12 years old. At 12 years old.
If the kid if the kid is physically mature, the parents consent, both parties are happy.
A 12-year-old being physically mature.
If that's the
A 12-year-old being physically mature is fucking crazy. That's like, see, she has a little sister. It's like me telling her little sister's ready to be married, and like marry another 12-year-old or a 21-year-old. That's fucking crazy. Marry another 12-year-old or a 21-year-old is fucking crazy. They both tripping.
That's the only line that actually makes sense. We've just established how yours doesn't make any sense. We just established how yours makes no sense, right? Because you change your definitions 50 times. I'm saying there is no consistent line. People mature at different ages.
Neither
Who am I to
is
tell
your
you?
definition of maturity. You keep saying how it fluctuates.
Yes.
Like you are admitting it fluctuates.
Do you agree that people?
Okay.
Do people mature at different ages?
People mature at all kinds of different ages.
Exactly.
We all know people mature at different ages, but I don't think anybody should be getting married at 12, 13, 14 at all. I don't think they should be doing anything like that. And I don't think anybody 9, 10, 11 should be chopping their dick off. I don't think I should be doing none of that. I don't think any of y'all right now, to be honest.
It needs to be a set one. Like 18. 18 being an agreed upon one makes it very set in stone with what is and is not acceptable. In your world, you just said a 12-year-old can be physically mature enough to marry an 18-year-old. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a huge. Yes.
I don't encourage.
A huge issue.
I don't encourage this, but I would much rather live in a society that allows a physically ready, whatever age, if I'm 14 something, if they're physically ready, the parents consent. I'd much rather live in a society that encourages marriage.
Nigga, so if you want to live in hell, you just want to go to hell, basically? Cause I heard hell, let that shit go if you want. I mean, if you want to go see what that's about, go see what that's about, my brother. But I don't think you want that. In a world living like that, it's just crazy. Sneako got something wrong with him. He got some personal issues. And MoistCr1tiKal, I feel like, yo, what are you talking about? He must be trying to save face or save his fan base, and he must have said something about the LGBT community, and he don't want to be their op no more. That's what it gotta be. Because they both sound like dumb ass Cracker Man and Habibi Man. What is Sneako? Is he a Habibi? A Ching Chong? A fucking native back? What is he? Like, what the fuck is Sneako? I don't even know what I don't know how to disrespect him. But he's one of those, Arab or something. But they both tripping. Us niggers can't let this slide. We have to comment on this.
Marriage instead of cutting your penis off. That's the issue. You can't have this.
See, do you see why that's creepy though? So then we'll extend it to you. Let's say again, all of this is going through the Sneako utopias here. You got 14-year-olds marrying, all of this. Are you going to play by those rules now? Are you going to start looking at 14-year-olds that might be physically mature?
You've asked me this question 3-4 times, and I've given you the same answer. That's not my personal taste. That's not what I like. I want somebody that's around. I want somebody that's around. I want a girl that's younger than me. I'm 25. I'd rather. Do you know that peak fertility happens when, like, after you go through puberty? Like when a girl's 16, that's peak fertility.
So you want a peak fertility 16?
I don't. I'd rather a girl. My ideal
Sneako wants a peak fertility 16-year-old.
wife person. If you're gonna ask personal question, my ideal wife is probably 20, 21 years old. When I'm 26, 27, that's the ideal. If she's 24, if she's 23, that's fine. There's an age gap. Okay. And you know what's funny about that? If I'm 25 and if my ideal wife is 20, if you go follow the Romeo and Juliet laws, in a couple years before I'd be a pedophile. Okay. This is why it's silly.
It's not silly though. There needs to be an age. You're not giving an age. You're giving an obtuse definition of maturity, which fluctuates so much from 12 years old to 14 years old.
Let's look up the definition of maturity. If I'm giving an obtuse definition of maturity, let's look it up and see who's following it.
Okay, so now you
and
need to look
everybody could look
on your beliefs.
It's I told you what I believe in, and I'm pretty sure this is what the definition of maturity is.
You can't give a number.
Yo, who's winning the debate,
The
chat?
definition of maturity is the state, fact, or period of being mature.
That's what I want to know. I want to know who's winning the debate. Fash just said that. He's right behind my camera. Who's winning the debate? Like, who do y'all feel like is winning this shit right now? I feel like they both losers in this shit, to be honest.
You know what it does not say? 18. It's not saying age. Maturity depends on the state.
I want you to say one because there needs to be one in a society.
Why do you want me to say one?
Because there has to be. There has to be an age. If you don't agree that it's 18, then what should it be? You said when you can legally drive. That makes it 15 or 16.
We're going in circles, and I told you. I said the age of driving should be the same as the age of consent. You said it's because of maturity, correct?
18 is, yes. 18
No. You said adulthood means maturity, correct?
Adulthood means over 18. Yeah, that's when you are outside of your parents. Again, you're not a child.
That's not actually what the definition of the word means. You are making up a definition of maturity. Same thing as you did with childhood.
Same thing you're doing with your ideal world. Like, all of it is, you have to have these. They have to be there. Mm-hmm. There needs to be an age. Like, there just has to be. You can't have these arguments where children are marrying adults.
Why do you have to have an age?
Because then you end up in a situation like we just showed with a 12-year-old and an 18-year-old where you said that's okay. That's not.
And why is that wrong?
That is completely wrong. That is a 12-year-old.
Okay, you said the age.
18-year-old.
Remove the age for a second because I think it's confusing you. Why is that wrong?
That is someone who is literally still in middle school. That is someone who is playing with fucking dolls right now.
That's a middle schooler and a high schooler. But why is that wrong? Tell me why that's wrong.
No, it's someone who's going off to college. Okay, most likely.
Tell me why that's wrong.
The person going off to college is driving. The person going off to college is working. The person going off to college is in a totally different state than someone who is literally still playing with dolls. Mm-hmm. Like, that is not okay under any circumstances.
That is not okay, Sneako. Come on, Sneako. You know this shit sound crazy. Look at this nigga face. That shit sound crazy right now, Sneako. I ain't gonna lie, I can't even call you my boy, nigga. I can't even call you a nigga, like, Sneako. Damn.
At all.
So you're saying it's because there are different stages in life?
It's a child versus an adult. I guess to even get back a little bit, do you think there's not a problem with a child being with an adult?
Okay. We haven't even agreed upon what a child and an adult is. You keep saying that it's 18.
Under 18 is child.
And I'm telling you, that's not even the definition of the word. You're having
definitions most of the time, though. Like, you're not even using a definition for maturity that has an age attached to it that needs to be in place.
Because that's not the definition of maturity, right? We can't have this conversation if we don't set in stone what these words mean. Child means somebody that is not physically mature. Adult means somebody that's physically mature. That's what those words mean. You are making up, based off of numbers, what defines these words, and that's not even what the words mean. So you can call it beebophile, you can call it statutory rape, you can call that what that is, but that's not what those words mean. And I'll concede to that. If you want to call it those words that actually mean what they say, then fine. But based off child and an adult, you're wrong.
Okay. So then I guess we just won't see eye to eye on it. So
but it's not even seeing eye to eye. Why can't you accept the definition of these words? Is the dictionary wrong?
No, like I said, the definitions are fine of these words like maturity and all that, but that does
The
still
okay, but
needs
not
to
even
have
that. The definition of child is somebody who's not physically mature yet. Are you okay with the definition?
Right,
Simple
yeah,
question.
that's-
Are you
again,
okay with the
that's totally-
definition of child?
That is a fine definition of a child.
Okay. Are you okay with the definition of adult? Somebody who's physically mature?
Yeah, that's a fine
Okay.
definition too.
Then you are on the same page as me. Child and
No,
adult
because
is
I still agree there needs to be a line where these two things get separated.
Hey, Moist is like, nah, fuck no, you gotta be fucked up. I'm not saying that. So Moist already got canceled by the LGBT. He not trying to get canceled with the pedophiles. He by himself, Sneako. This shit wild right now.
There needs to be a place where this one is a child, this one is an adult.
But then you're being hypocritical. You contradicted yourself because if now you're agreeing that a child, what separates a child and adult is physical maturity, then it's puberty. And early in this conversation, you said before 18, if someone has sex with someone before 18, they're a pedophile. After 18, they're good. Now you're not saying that. You're going in circles. So it's either
when did I contradict
the definition of pedophile is child lover. Right?
We can
the definition
get rid of pedophile.
The definition we define that. Okay, so we define three terms: child, somebody not physically mature; adult, somebody physically mature; pedophile, child lover. Okay. Now, based off those definitions, 18 has nothing to do with it. There's no numbers.
But there needs to be.
Let me know in the comments like how y'all really feel about this. I really want to hear comments. I really want to hear how y'all feel about who's winning the argument, who won the argument, what side you're on, what side you're not on. If you're on my side and you don't on your, if you're on my side, you're not on either one of these nigga sides. For real though.
That's the point I'm making. There needs to be. You can't leave these things up to ambiguous. Well, this person and their family consented to marrying this 13-year-old and their family consented, so it's fine. Because it's not. It can't be.
Do you concede that you've changed your definition of all these words in this conversation?
Probably. This has been so all over the place. I don't know where we're at. So there's a very good chance.
Well, you started off by saying, and you said it so many times in this conversation, that 18 means an adult and before 18 is child. Now you're saying it's physical maturity.
No, I've still
That boy Moist sound like he tapping out, like he getting confused or something. Like Moist, tighten up, nigga. Like you gotta start coming quick. You gotta be ready for things like Sneako. You can't let Sneako up you on his words. He wrong too, nigga. Y'all both wrong. Let him know, like if I'm wrong, you're wrong. We're both wrong.
It's strong. 18 adult, under 18 child.
Is anybody else hearing this?
Like that.
You just changed your opinion in the span of 10 seconds.
I've never faltered
In the span
on
of
that.
10 seconds,
if you wanted to
I
define child
just
as maturity
defined I just defined these and you agreed. I said
Yeah, those definitions are
child
fine.
is not physically mature. Adult is physically mature. Pedophile is child lover. You agreed. Then I
Those
brought
are
up
fine.
18 and then you changed it. Now
That's not
18 is
mutually
adult.
exclusive. That's not mutually. Those definitions are fine, but that you still need to classify in society what is and is not an adult, where that maturity is on a number.
Okay.
You have to do that.
The number has nothing to do with physical maturity, the definition that you just
does.
agreed upon.
It 100% does in terms of this relationship between a child and a fucking adult. It does.
I don't even know what you think a child is anymore. Is it somebody physically mature or somebody under 18?
In society. But if you want to define child as puberty, that's fine, because that is the textbook definition of a child.
Okay, and you agreed that's what the definition is.
Both
That
these
is a
niggas
fine
is
definition.
cooked.
But you can still fall under 18 and
Okay.
be a child.
Okay.
That is the point.
Fair.
You are under 18, you are a child, you fall into that.
I understand what you're saying, and now I can understand your difference between
Okay.
legal and morality, right? That there's a difference between legal and morals, right? Is Dr. Disrespect messaging, I don't know if he messaged a 17-year-old, it's fine. Let's use this hypothetical. He messages a 17-year-old. Is he a pedophile?
As we've gone in circles. I would say it's a bad thing, and if we're going to
You're not answering the question. No. It's a simple question.
I would say you are going to a child.
You're not making
You're
sense.
going to a child.
You don't know what this person is. You just said it's somebody physically mature.
It's a minor. He said it's a minor.
You keep
so we know it's a minor.
You've changed the words. I've heard so many different words for you. It's a legal minor, but is he a pedophile?
Yes, it's talking to a child. Yeah. We're going to simplify it even further. Yes, he's talking to a child, pedophile, sure.
Your morality
Yes.
is arbitrary. It depends on nothing that
So
makes
is your
it.
perspective.
It doesn't
Your
make physical
perspective-
sense because you just said It's based on maturity, and now it has to do with age. Those are two separate things.
I never said based on
there's
maturity.
no consistency.
I said there always needs to be a line. You can define a child based on puberty and adult based on maturity. That's fine, but there needs to be a line where this line over it is adult, under it is child. That's.
I just wanted y'all to hear me cough.
That's
That's not even what you believe in.
How is that not what I believe in?
Because you just said it's maturity.
What do you mean?
You just said it's physical maturity. Why are you following something that you don't believe in?
What are you talking about? The definition of child and adult is fine, but there needs to be a line in society where over here you go into this category, under here you go into this category. It's crucial.
Okay.
Otherwise, we have what you had, where 15 and 16-year-olds are marrying adults. And
leave the legal thing out of it. Dr. Disrespect is messaging of physically mature.
Dr. Disrespect catching strays. They hitting that nigga with the switch.
17-year-old who's
I don't believe there's such a thing. I don't believe there's such a thing.
You just said there was.
No, it's under a child. Under 18, you fall into the child category. You had puberty probably, or maybe not, as you said, but you fell into the child category under 18. It's just, to me, it's that black and white. I don't think there's a huge argument.
I think they're both losing somehow.
I don't know why that's so hard to understand, brother.
Last time, because we're going in circles.
I know.
An adult is someone who's physically mature, correct?
The definition of an adult, maturity, yep, and over 18.
Not the definition. We need to agree upon a definition.
Brother, the definition's fine. That definition doesn't bother me.
So
That's fine.
it's not about you. Do you agree the definition of a child is somebody not physically mature?
Yeah, that's 100%.
Yes.
That's fine.
A child is somebody not physically mature, correct? Hold that thought.
Okay, not physically mature.
Yes. Dr. Disrespect message a physically mature 17-year-old.
No such thing. You can't prove it. How's the 17-year-old physically mature? They're not. So in my eyes, 18.
Do you understand what a hypothetical?
How you know she was physically mature? Did he send you like, what's up? Like what? Because a minute ago in the first video, I think it was part 1. Go watch that if you didn't watch it. I think you said that there's no proof of him texting a minor. So why you acting like you seen something we ain't see? I don't know, Sneako. You giving vibes. You giving vibes, bro. You giving watch you. I would never let. First of all, I would never let you around no kids, for sure. Not no Sneako. So you can go Sneako off with the bitch. His name is Sneako. He a sneaky ass nigga. We ain't fucking with Sneako and kids. Like, and now I know you. I'm not gonna let no kids watch you. You talking about you can chop your dick off, or if you're a girl, you can just put a dick on. Nah, you saying the wrong things, my boy. Back to the video.
Do you understand what a hypothetical is?
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought you were.
It's a physically mature 17-year-old.
Okay.
Based off your definition, an adult.
Uh-huh.
An adult 17-year-old, correct?
Nope. No such thing as an adult 17-year-old. There's no such thing as an adult 17-year-old. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
You just said it exists.
I never said a 17-year-old could be an adult.
When does someone become an adult? Okay. Based off I can't believe I'm hearing this right now. I genuinely can't.
What?
Okay.
It's super simple. 18 is when the maturity starts to kick in, and that's when you become the adult. That's what we've established. Anything under that, you're still a child. You could have gone through puberty.
Are you afraid of getting canceled or something? Like it's like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't want to get canceled. I told you the LGBT community came for his ass. I think y'all gotta watch part 1 or part 2. That's what Sneako said, and like, I think that's the thing. I think they came to get on his ass because he was in Mr. Beast's video and he called Ava a thing, and when he called her a thing, the community came after him. So I think he's trying his hardest right now not to get canceled. So he don't want to say the wrong things. He's okay with trans. He's not okay with pedophiles. He don't want to be on that bandwagon. So I think that's what's going on right now, to be honest.
This doesn't make any sense.
No, it's what I believe. Like, it's just that simple.
But it's literally not what you believe.
How is it not what I believe?
You just said an adult is somebody physically mature.
Right. And I don't think you can be physically mature under 18.
What?
I don't think you can be physically mature under 18.
Puberty has nothing to do with age.
What does that have to do with anything? I'm missing that
If
one.
I'm a man, I go through puberty at 17. I physically become an adult, right? It has nothing to do with 18. Do you understand this? Now I'm an adult because I'm physically mature.
Are you 18?
All right, you really don't want to get canceled. This is
No, it's just the truth.
This
You
is
need
incredible.
that.
Come on, see, look, one thing about it is, this the nigga who made a video on Billy Carson. I keep saying that. He made a video on Billy Carson, and Sneako has some valid points. PenguinZ0, MoistCr1tiKal, or whatever you want to call him, he gets like 3 million views in 10 minutes, bro. When he says certain things in videos, he blows me because he don't understand the type of power he got. It's like, bro, don't just say these things in a video. You can get a whole person canceled. You're saying Billy Carson's stupid and all this, da da da. Now you're arguing with Sneako, and Sneako has the upper hand on you the whole conversation. And we all know Sneako is wrong. You can't even get to the points on why Sneako is wrong. We know he's wrong, but you can't even get it out. I fuck with MoistCr1tiKal way harder than I fuck with Sneako. But in this situation, they're both wrong. They're both dumb. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. We're all in the same age bracket. We all got different brains. And I'm telling you, they're both dumb. Fuck are you saying? Both of these niggas are fried.
There.
I mean, Cracker and Habibi is fried.
This is incredible.
I think that's where the distinction goes. I think it's super simple.
All right. I hope everybody listening can see where the consistency, because I don't think I'm going to get through to you. It's you're looping, but I hope you're able to see. Maybe you are too, but I think that you're just afraid of like losing a platform or something, or getting angry,
No,
getting
it's
your audience
I think
angry
it's
with you.
that simple
But
in
do you
society.
see how arbitrary this is to define pedophile based off of a specific number, even though it doesn't physically even make sense?
No, I don't see why that's silly. I think
Okay.
that's entirely necessary.
Okay.
Because you need that number. Otherwise, you're going to have 14 and 15-year-olds marrying adults, like
right.
you said is okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just incredible. Where does your morality? I want to leave on this. I know.
He says he wants to leave on this, but you can clearly see we have another 2 hours of this shit. He didn't want to leave on nothing. So they're not at a stalemate right now. Sneako wants to end this shit. MoistCr1tiKal feels like crunchy. You could tell like he don't know how to feel, and he keeps looking at his chat. And Sneako got the upper hand right now. If we was betting on the bet side right now, I would have my money on Sneako just cause. You know what I'm
touched
saying?
on it a little bit earlier, but I do want to touch on this before I go. Where does your morality come from?
We already went over this, right? Personal experience and everything I take in from the world and process up in here.
Okay.
Same as everyone else.
10 years ago, did you believe that a child can go through transgender therapy? Can they cut their penis off?
10 years ago, I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't unaware of it. And then when I learned about it, I formed my own morality on it based on everything I saw, read, came to my own conclusions.
Okay. If I told you when you were a kid that it was okay legally and morally to cut your dick off, would you agree?
Like, what do you mean? Would I do it, or would I say that that's okay?
Would you say that that's okay?
I'd have no idea on how to even process something like that. I'm a fucking child.
How old are you now?
29.
Okay. When you were 10 years ago, like, and you had heard about it, because this was still bubbling. There was, I think Caitlyn Jenner was first popping up. This was like the talk of the town. If I told you 10 years ago, try to remember that Trump is running for president, 2014. What's happened? Like, Obama's still in office, right? I tell you it's okay to cut kids' penises off. You saying that's cool?
So 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I'd say let me look into it, and probably if it's a decision they came to with professionals and their family, I'd say yeah.
You say that's gonna go?
I'd say you have the right to make that decision.
Me and my co-host, me and my co-owner right now, we just came to the agreement that this nigga fucking lying. He is fucking lying. You listen, she's a girl and she know he lying. Like, you're not agreeing to cutting that dick off at the age of 10 years ago. He's 29. How old is he? What? 11? Or I'm just high and drunk. I don't know what. How old is he 10 years ago? Y'all know. The comments know. He lying. Lying ass nigga.
For yourself, yeah.
Can you? I don't even know how to get through to like the people like you sometimes. Why? Because why is it okay? Why? Okay, I'm not trying to be. Why do you think a kid can consent to that, but they can't consent to marriage? Why can a kid consent?
We're going in circles. I just said when it comes to a marriage, it's no longer just a personal decision. It's not. You take on a whole.
We've also
person
established
and
that
whole person's
a transgender surgery is also not a personal decision.
It is. It is a decision you are making.
You're also saying "I do" to the marriage, which is a personal decision.
And then you are bringing in an entirely new family dynamic from this adult.
And why does that then make it wrong? Because other people are involved.
Because this is an adult. This is a predator who is coming into your life.
A predator?
Yeah, if you are marrying an adult as a child, that's a predator.
Okay, and it's not predatory for the doctor to lure a kid into an office and cut his penis off?
Oh, he's luring.
He could have worded that better. You know what I'm saying? But he's not luring the kid into the office. The kid is coming in his mom's and them guardians or whatever. They're coming with them. Or if you're letting the kid like go by himself to do that, you're wilding. You know what I'm saying?
Kids into the office now.
Yeah,
with
there's
like
advertisements. Chris Tyson from maybe a kid saw your collab with Mr. Beast. He got inspired by Chris Tyson. He gets lured in because Chris Tyson.
Maybe a 24-year-old watched your streams like, oh, you know what? This 15-year-old's pretty mature. I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to talk to them. Do you think that's cool?
No, that's not cool. You're supposed to talk to the father before you get married. If her father's not okay with it, then what happened?
That's the issue you had.
That's fucking crazy. And Sneako is dying about this shit. He dying about his issue. Sneako is wilding.
Scenario.
Yeah, but when you
Somebody gotta punch that other tooth and chip the other tooth or something. Put some SNES into his ass or something.
approach marriage, you don't just go approach a girl and that's not what Islamically is allowed. You're supposed to go to the father and supposed to see where it goes from there. So that's never what I said.
24-year-old talks to the father of a 15-year-old and gets his permission. Now it's cool.
Get to the father and say like, am I interested in marrying your physically mature, your adult daughter? Okay, is she okay with it?
15-year-old.
Ask the mother.
15-year-old daughter.
Get the consensus. Yes, and if he's okay with it, she's okay with it. I think that's fine. That's fine.
Like that, I just don't see how we'll ever see eye to eye on that. Like, to me, that is the most alarming shit.
Okay.
To even view someone of that age as.
If Sneako marries your little sister, what do you do? If Sneako marries your little sister, I want to know what you guys do in the comment. If Sneako comes to marry your little sister, nigga, what do you do? I want to know. Like, what do you do?
Mature is concerning. Or like the potential to be physically mature at 15 is very concerning.
Then you think
I'm gonna kill him. I'll kill you, Sneako. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Like, by your morality, all of human history, everybody was a pedophile. In the 1800s in America, the age was 10. In the UK, 200 years ago, the age was 7.
Yeah, yep, 100%.
So everybody,
7 and 10-year-olds, yeah.
So everybody in human history was a pedophile up until 10 years ago.
10 years ago is pretty arbitrary.
What is it, 50 years ago? Yeah. Whenever the feminist movement started.
When they're marrying 10-year-old and
for thousands of years, Moist.
Past this.
Penguin, for thousands of years, everybody was a pedophile up until 50 years ago when the age of consent was divided.
Yes, and also people used to eat people more often, like cannibals. What, you're gonna go on like cannibals? Like, it's not like things were great.
That was a good comeback. That was good. But that's not enough. That's not enough. Sneako is not right now. He's cooking in his own way, but it's not enough to convince me or anybody I'm around. Like, that's not enough. That was a good one, though. I'll give you that. Claps to that. I like that.
Then it's not like we had it all figured out back then. Yeah, there was a lot of bad shit.
But in successful societies, like the UK is a Christian country, was a Christian country in the 1800s. The United States was a Christian country in the 1800s, and all societies in Greece and the Roman Empire, successful societies that colonized, that thrived, that had lots of families, that invented things. These people, all those people were pedophiles.
Brother, yeah, if they're having sex with 7 and 10-year-olds, 100%, yes.
Okay, but not even if they were enacting upon it, if they believed in it, because it's the belief too. So everybody in human history was a pedophile up until 50 years ago.
If they subscribed to the belief that it was okay to do that, yeah,
which they did.
People evolved to recognize how bad that is.
They did.
Yes. Like if you look back on it retroactively, that is a horrible thing.
So everybody
look back on like
everybody in the
Cannibalism
UK.
is a bad thing, and incest is a bad thing. Like we would look back on these things and be like, hey, that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know that's bad now.
Yeah, the next step for
People evolve.
I want to point this out and for you to remember this, because the next step for this thing where they cut off penises and take puberty blockers, the next step is normalize.
So look, we're gonna go ahead and part 4 at this point. We're 30 minutes in. I don't want to have you guys watching hour-long footage. I can do 30, 40 minutes. So we just gonna go ahead and chop this down, mix what we can mix, and make a part 4 out this. You know what I'm saying? Who do you got winning the debate? Sneako, MoistCr1tiKal, or /PenguinZ? You know what I'm saying? 0Z or however the fuck. Who's winning this shit right now? Like, let me know.